Welcome back to my exploration of this sci-fi feline-adjacent species. Today I will stop being a coward and actually share some lore. In the last video focused on this species, I was afraid to share anything too specific about them and the universe in which they exist for some reason. Like, what if no one else enjoyed it or thought it was stupid or something? Then my brother sent me a video by WritFinch talking about their amazing fantasy world of Golden Bone, which led to Gamey Build's incredible post-apocalyptic Beyond the Blight dioramas. Watching and listening to them describe these worlds that they care about and have captured their imaginations emboldened me to at least give myself a chance. Wish me luck. When I first invented this sci-fi universe as an adolescent, the best name that I could come up with, which I totally thought was cool at the time, was Milky Way Military. The inception of this universe and its core cast of human soldiers may or may not have been inspired by a certain elite squad of clone commandos from a certain franchise's book series. While the name doesn't encompass nearly enough about the universe as a whole or make any sense for what we're working on today, but I still don't have a better name, and I am so open to suggestions. Here's a general overview of the world, and if inspiration for a name strikes at any point, please tell me. In this universe, the Milky Way galaxy is linked to the enormous and aptly named Condor Galaxy through a stable intergalactic wormhole at the edge of the Solar System, aka where you are now if you didn't know. There are many spacefaring species between the two galaxies, including humans, but there's only one other species that is native to the Milky Way, at least as far as we know. This species is called Xido, and I really don't know much about them. What I do know is that I love their weird hands and feet, and I just absolutely needed to know how they sit down with such short shins. Did I make a terrible mistake with this design? So after sketching out some heads that explored things like yawning, how their ears move, and their arbitrarily forked tongues, I spent a few minutes figuring out what the palms of their hands and feet looked like, which is maybe unnecessary, but it brought me joy, and that's what matters. Also, I'm obsessed with hippopotamus feet, and I was thinking about them a lot while I did this foot. Anyway, here I am trying out some different hairstyles and some random color palettes that I got from a lovely website called Coolors. Why did I go and fetch some random color palettes, you ask? Yeah, I have no clue what to do for the colors of the Xido other than maybe wanting them to have variations of some kind, which would result in very different looking offspring in a litter. I thought that maybe using these palettes would help give me ideas as I explored hairstyles, skin color, if it is skin, and eye color, as well as putzing around with a bit of shading, because at least that's something I sort of know how to do. And yes, I did accidentally make Simba and Pinky and the Brain. After atoning for my accidental copyright sins with the hide layer button, I thought to myself, what if their skin was just gray? And then proceeded to spend a little time happily painting away instead of continuing my miserable attempts at generating unique hairstyles. Then I abandoned the world of color for my simple, infallible sketch brush to see if that made a difference in what I was producing. While I do that, how about some info dumping? The Xido are a mammalian species from the Vulpecula system, or the Xido system as they would call it. They are matriarchal and matrilineal, meaning that they are primarily led by females, and that the female's family line matters more than the male's. One of the core values of this species is a reverence for the female's ability to create life and the female's role in protecting life. Females usually have up to 8 babies because they only mate once every few years during a period of time that is similar to estrus in earth mammals. Most females have several male mates who share their genetic material for fertilization, meaning that each baby could have a different father, but they will all have one mother. Both mothers and fathers are often seen with little Xido babies clinging to them by their hands and feet as the adults go about their days. Because the hairstyles and color palettes had been such a disaster, I figured I'd try my luck at designing some clothing! I'm using a big, chunky brush and a single color so as not to get caught in the weeds of details as I am prone to do. Some Xido have quills on their backs and head, so designing clothes to accommodate that was interesting, but the whole process remained somewhat frustrating. A lack of lore about the Xido has been a hindrance, and this was acutely obvious to me as I struggled through this latest drawing session, especially when it came to their physical attributes. Do they have short fur all over their bodies and some longer, thicker hair other places? What's that second set of eyes for? How much time do they spend in quadrupedal locomotion? What kind of food do they consume? Do they ever hang upside down from their weird hand feet or brachiate with those long arms? In order to answer those questions, I really have to think about their environment, their homeworld, and how it shaped them. Which I probably should have done before I started redesigning them from my childhood art. I probably should also note that I haven't looked at any reference material or sought out any inspiration beyond my original art and what I already had stored in my head from years and years of drawing animals. Of all the sketches in this particular document, however, the one that I keep thinking about is the Xido with its tongue out that we made at the beginning. It's got a lot of personality, and it looks like it's doing something, or interacting with someone. It's almost a character already, and I'm wondering if maybe I should just focus on one individual instead of an entire species for a bit, to let myself be guided through their world, their culture, their technology, by a character from the ground level instead of distantly from orbit, as it were. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing a little bit more about the universe I'm building, and maybe it'll have a better name by the time the next video comes out. I welcome any questions or feedback, and as always, thank you for watching.